Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the globe. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Tea with Mahila. It is truly a pleasure to have each of you join us today from different communities, cultures, and countries. Tea with Mahila was created to be more than a conversation. It's a space where women can come together to learn, we can reflect, we can discuss, connect, and grow. It's a place where arguments don't happen, discussions do, challenges, and we also come up with great solutions. It's not only ideas, but action. It's not only empowerment, but action. At Mahila Udyami Foundation, we believe that real transformation happens when people are seen, when people are heard, valued, and most importantly, supported. We believe that women are not beneficiaries of development. Women are infrastructure. You've heard that a lot here, and it's something that we truly believe. And when women thrive, families thrive, communities thrive, and definitely nations. Today's conversation is especially important because we're being joined by a remarkable global leader, somebody that you have seen quite a few times with me because I truly believe in her message. Who has touched education, governance, leadership, entrepreneurship, sustainability, and human development. Our guest reminds us that education is not simply about learning or earning a degree. It's about unlocking the human potential, creating opportunity where maybe we don't see any, and building pathways toward a more equitable and prosperous future for all of us. As we gather around this virtual table with our team, I invite everyone to listen with curiosity, engage with intention, and reflect on how each of us can become part of building stronger systems of opportunity for women, for youth, families, and communities. Whether you're an educator, an entrepreneur, a student, professional policymaker, or community leader, tonight's conversation offers insight that can help you with greater purpose and impact. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this growing Mahila family. Now it is my great honor to introduce our distinguished guest today, Ambassador Her Excellency, Dr. Srividhya Sukumar. He's an educationist, governance advisor, quality assurance and compliance expert, strategic transformation consultant, life and business coach. She's an author, a columnist, global chair for GSFN, ESG advocate, and a global UN ambassador. Like I said before, this woman is bigger than life. Dr. Srividhya has dedicated her career to helping individuals and institutions transform vision into meaningful action, creating pathways for excellence, innovation, and sustainable impact. You can actually follow her and watch her incredible series called Ace Your Career every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Are we at 7 p.m.? In UDHYAMI. Please join me in giving a warm tea with Mahila. We welcome special guest Ambassador Her Excellency, Dr. Srividhya Sukumar. Welcome, Dr. Srividhya.
Thank you, Dr. Virginia. It's always a pleasure being here on your platform with you, with such an inspiring person whom I've never known. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. So we're going to go straight to it. Our opening question today. When you look back at your own journey, who was the woman that created a ripple effect in your life? And how did she influence who you are today?
Definitely. Having known me, you know the answer, but still for our audience, I would say that she believed she could, so she did. A woman with a voice, but with the definition of a very strong woman. She was definitely strong enough to belong to all places where she was known, so that decisions can be driven and made. And she's none other than my own mother. So, yes, when I really reflect this journey, this beautiful journey, I would say it's a pious journey, definitely, Dr. Virginia. Without a doubt, I proclaim that the woman who created this great ripple effect in my life was my mother. She was not a woman of titles, no public recognition, but she was a woman of extraordinary character, resilience, compassion, and quite strong. She ailed with cancer for 10 years. She didn't give up. She gave a very strong fight to cancer that it took her away rather than giving her back to us, because cancer was scared of her that she will fight more. So she taught me this kind of resilience. The true leadership is not about the authority, but it is about the service, the love, the compassion that she always had for people. And the dignity lies from within, the way how we treat people, especially when no one is watching. So especially what we see today, right in front of our eyes, or when we stand before the mirror, it is that we are seeing is nothing but the mirage of exactly what was inculcated in us, such that we give it to the society with the same mirage, with the same depiction, disposition. So growing up, I watched her make sacrifices without even calling them as sacrifices. She was the one who believed that education is the greatest gift that one could receive. And that one gift, nobody can take it from you unless otherwise you give it to others. That kind of conviction of knowledge that she instilled in me to uplift others, I took it from her as a foundation of my life purpose. Today, when I say that education is my birthright and no child should be deprived of it, I realize that those words were planted in my heart, were rooted in my heart by her. They began with her. And my journey evolved from being an educator to work in governance, sustainability, ESG, quality assurance, institutional transformation, strategic transformation, international collaboration. How much ever you just say, you label it as every single initiative, the seed belonged to her. And whatever I think, my thought process has stemmed from her. And I'm just taking it forward as a legacy, which I could do. And I pray God that I should be able to do it forever.
You know, when I hear you speak about your mother, you know, what she caused in you, I also reflect on my own relationship with my mother and what she caused in me, that ripple effect. When we drop a small stone into water, the impact does not stay where the stone lands.
Yes.
It creates ripples that move outward, touching everything around it. Human development works exactly that same way. Right? When we educate one woman, we do not only change her life, we improve the future of her children, strengthen her family, increase the resilience of her community, and contribute to the growth of the economy. And I think this is why we were talking today, and we're going to be speaking about the ripple effect that women have in the world that we live in. When we give one entrepreneur access to knowledge, resources, or opportunity, the benefits extend beyond her business or creating a job, her job. Because what she does, she creates other jobs for other people. Families become more secure. Communities become stronger. So when we invest in one teacher, one leader, one caregiver, or one young person, the impact rarely stops with that individual. It multiplies across generations, like you had with your mom. You know, many times when we're being raised and when we're growing, we don't know what our parents are doing. It's not until we become parents
100%.
or we become adults that we realize everything that they did. And you said the sacrifice your mother made without even thinking it was a sacrifice. But you as a mom recognize that it's a sacrifice. You wanted to say something.
Yes.
You wanted to add something.
As an educationist, I have seen this repeatedly happening. When you educate and empower a woman, we just don't transform one individual. We transform generations. You know, like it's like that. And as you rightly said, she was the first teacher, but first leader, first mentor, and the emotional anchor of the family. But she has reflected through me by creating these ripples in hundreds of generations, in hundreds of people, hundreds of families, and hundreds of communities.
Yeah. You know, and this is what we call the ripple effect. You know, small actions that create larger outcomes. I've seen you, Dr. Srividhya, since I started with the Huge Group organization 3 years ago, how hard you've worked just to do this, to continue to impact with that ripple effect. One conversation can inspire an idea, one idea can become a project, and one project can transform a community. So this is why Mahila Udyami is here. We are not simply creating programs. We're past that. Women are not here for that. We're creating ripples of opportunity, dignity, leadership, and prosperity. And this will extend far beyond today and far beyond the cohorts that we may impact. This is going to impact their families, their kids, future generations. So every act of empowerment or leadership creates a ripple. Every opportunity creates a ripple. Every woman that rises creates a ripple. And together I know that those ripples become waves of transformation. I can't imagine the world without a Dr. Srividhya, Sukumar. I can't imagine it, and that has so much to do with the ripple effect your mother had with you. So the question for all of us tonight at home when you're looking at us is, what ripple are you creating today? And who will be impacted by it tomorrow? I want to leave you with this, and if you're watching, send us a note and let us know what it is that you are doing. What ripple are you creating today? And who will this impact? So I'm going to go ahead and continue with our questions. This is how we get to know our guests. Do you believe women fully understand the influence they have on families and communities? Do you believe that your mother knew exactly how much what she did with you, how she raised you, would impact not just you, but thousands of people that listen to you every day?
Yes, I truly believe that, Dr. Virginia. Why? Because we think that women are only homemakers, that they belong to family or the home industry. I totally agree with that. But definitely they have an extraordinary influence they carry. As it is always said, those who bring sunshine to others cannot keep it within themselves. They are born to illuminate the whole place with their very presence, just their very presence, the positive vibes they carry, the influence they carry, the whatever way that we call it, that's what is the woman influence. And it is not measured by the position or the diplomacy or the power, so-called women empowerment that she calls or she holds. But it is influenced 200% by the lives that she shapes every single day. Be it a family member, be it a community member, be at a workplace, be a colleague, or be it a boss, be it a community, whichever way, as Mahila Udyami has always delivered these kind of things on every day in and day out basis. We already have enough examples with us, enough instances with us. So, as an educationist, I've seen this happening repeatedly. And women are not simply to participate in the development. They bring change with it. This one saying, which is so dear to my heart, be the change that you wished in the society, that really suits every single woman whom we know. If at all they want to bring a change, they exemplify it first. I want this change. Let me do it first. And I'll find out exactly whether it suits or it has to be, improved and what all improvements that can be made. And they start working in collaboration, like calling a friend and just sharing the thoughts. Okay, I'm going to do it. As you are doing now on this virtual guys, I'm going to talk about women. Can you come and share your ideas? So this is how they work. We think that women are confined to the four walls of the home, or definitely not so. They create, they collaborate, they communicate, they bring the transformation, they bring the citizenship such that this legacy is carried on for generations, not with one generation where she belongs to, where she resides or where she lives. Definitely not so. She definitely leaves a legacy with a compassion that has stemmed from one single corner of the home.
And what is the one characteristic that you believe every woman should cultivate to create change? And I mean cultivate. Some of us are born with abilities and traits, and that are ours. They're very much our own. But what characteristic do you think a woman should cultivate to create positive?
Of all questions, this question is so dear to me. I'm sorry about it. Because, like when we talk about women, we really get so enthusiastic. And we are so inspired because we're talking about ourselves. As you know, empowered women really empower women, isn't it? And there is no limit as we women what we can accomplish. And when she is free, definitely there is, to some extent, we can say that she goes wild. And because they always think like a queen, and queen is not afraid to fail. That's always there. So coming back to this question, what one characteristic that you would do is that making the proper use of that courage, that dominance, that prevalence of making us visible into a purpose-driven courage. You should have the courage to change the society, but with a purpose. What is the purpose? What is the change that you want to bring with your courage? It should be purpose-driven. As we all know, courage is definitely not absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward, to go from exactly where I am. I'm going to move forward despite fear is guided by a purpose of greater than oneself. So throughout my journey, if I would like to relate it, whether it is education or governance, exactly, every single meaningful change required difficult conversations, convincing people, and understanding it from their perspective, from others' perspective, what they are willing to convey to us, challenging conventional thinking because they're going to bring a change. Everybody is not going to be willingly, open, will not have the openness to change. So we need to have a very challenging conventional thinking and advocating for those whose voices are not always heard. So this is very difficult when it comes to women, especially when we talk about empowering women, bringing them to limelight from where they are, whichever way they are, and we have to really make people understand that this can be done this way. So this courage is as an armor on me, definitely is anchored with a purpose, with a focus, with my goal, and it will become transformational. This is what I've seen. So when there is a purpose, I don't give up. I work, I set for my goals. I just go with my goals until I reach. So as I've done so, I feel that it will enable every woman lead with integrity, the way she carries, makes ethical decision, taking everybody into consideration with inclusive factor, embrace lifelong learning such that any new thing which I need to change, I need to learn from myself, I can do that, and inspire others to believe that possibilities are beyond their current circumstances. Every single opportunity comes with a challenge. So when you get a challenge, face it and treat it as an opportunity and move forward. So this kind of purpose-driven courage enables every woman and create leaders who do not simply seek success, but for themselves, but create opportunities for others to succeed. So this is what is very important.
I love it. So it's purpose-driven courage, right?
Yes.
And I think that you hit the nail on the head. My cup says teenage daughter survivor. And the truth is because in order for us to have that woman be bold enough to embrace her courage, we need to start with her when she's young, right? We need to encourage bold, fierce, curious, imaginative young girls. And of course they may be a handful, probably more than a girl that we have trained to be quiet, to only speak when spoken to be well-mannered, and stay beautiful. I don't know, I prefer the first one. I prefer the one that I'm going to have to try to help control the enthusiasm. I prefer the one that will not be quiet if she feels she has to speak up. I will definitely prefer the one that comes up with the craziest idea. So if you're listening to us today, the courage to really embrace your purpose, or a purpose-driven courage, takes for us to believe in our girl, not clip their wings and not crush their spirit.
Yes.
And you might be tired. It's true. I think I tired my mother out, for sure. I am sure that I kept my mother on her toes every day with my ideas, with my concepts, with my way of thinking outside of the box. But I know she wouldn't have it any other way. So, like you, when I first thought of who is my ripple effect, it was my mother. But it's because she never crushed my spirit. She never clipped my wing. And today, I can probably say, I survived a teenage daughter because, two daughters, because they are opinionated.
Yes.
They are free. And most importantly, You're beautifully complex. And I really celebrate that. So I hope that all celebrate that.
As your mom is your inspiration, I'm sure you will be an inspiration for those two daughters, beautiful daughters.
Well, I hope so. The project is still ongoing. Our project is still ongoing, so definitely. Why do you think investing in women can create benefits that extend beyond herself and her family? Why is it a good idea to invest in women? We've seen the studies, we know it's true. But why, in your experience, do you think it continues to be important that we all invest in women?
I would please allow me to take a quote which has been proclaimed throughout, universally across the globe very recently by our Prince, Honorable Prince, women are not homemakers. They are generation shapers. They're called generation shapers because, as you yes, yeah, exactly. I loved it. These days I start quoting it wherever I go. It's like that. I'm so influenced by that.
You know that in India they had a landmark ruling where the term is no longer homemaker. Yeah. Now it's nation builder. So I think that as we listen to these countries, really proclaim the work that women do, it starts with that. So I am very happy, as yourself, that this is being seen in a different way, and definitely I applaud that. I'm very happy.
Yes. So every investment in women becomes an investment in society. Women naturally think beyond themselves. Even if I have a cup of tea here with me, I'm going to think about my daughter, I'm going to think about my husband as a homemaker, as I'm there at home. If I'm there in office, I'm going to think about a colleague with whom I can share. So their thinking definitely goes beyond themselves, at least for the next person who is there with them, at the least. And they invest in the children's education, definitely, with whatever possibility they have. Their family's well-being, that comes as a priority for every single woman whom we know. Their community, thereby influencing the community. And also, they don't leave it there. They take it forward to the citizenship and they invest, they influence, and they capitalize for the future that they want to leave behind. So definitely investing in women is investing in a society. So throughout my work with different letters, basically like education institutions, community organizations, wherever, I have consistently observed that empowering women creates multiplier effect, as you call it as ripple effect. It creates this multiplier effect. It's like a pearl drop in the ocean. Every single woman is going to drop a pearl drop in the ocean such that it becomes an ocean. And it doesn't stop there, it keeps on moving because it has the tenacity to influence others on a larger scale. So every confident woman inspires another woman, and every educated mother definitely nurtures educated children. And as you rightly said just now, and a woman in leadership open doors for future leaders. So that's
why I love that.
That's why
what you just said is a transition to our next questions. How does education change not only a woman's life, but also the lives of those around her? We know it does. You just said it, but I know that you have seen thousands of women you've spoken to. You are a life and a business coach and an educational coach. How have you seen education change that?
For me, education is passion, my breath. And education is not, as we all know, everybody will agree with me, I think, it's not merely earning a degree. It's about discovering one's purpose of life, what I'm here for, what I'm going to do. That's career development in other ways. What is my interest? How are we going to take forward my interest for the sake of myself? As I always say, the main slogan, celebrate every single moment of your life so as to evolve as self, community, and then terrain. So the change that the education brings in us is not just the knowledge part of it, but discovering one's purpose, developing a character that brings a change in you, and creating opportunity for serving others. So education is nothing but a celebration. Celebrate that moment of your life so as to evolve as self, acquire knowledge, acquire skills, and you will be able to take. So when you come as a woman educator, an educated woman has a major responsibility and opportunity is open. As I can say, of course, there are male educators definitely there, but if I'm going to say teacher as a simple word to define education, who's a teacher? We always, closing our eyes, we relate to women. This is how it is, as the legacy goes, as the history goes. So the educated woman becomes a catalyst for the transformation, where she is going to reflect lives, influence life by improving her own and also educating everyone. So this is what is that, as we always said that, like bringing change in the society, starting from self, is what this education is all about. And so women are just the epitome of this change that we are talking about.
So talking about education, what skills do you think that a young woman today should definitely hone on in order to be prepared for the workforce, the future of the workforce, but in this rapidly changing world, because things change so fast. So what is the one thing, or what skills do you think young women need to thrive in today in this world?
Yeah. In the first place, thank you for asking this question. I wanted you to ask this question. I was really praying for it. I love this question. And thanks for your thoughtfulness of bringing this kind of a question. Because in this platform, if you're going to share something, it's better for others to just get an idea of exactly. As we all know, the future belongs to those who are going to think about it today. So if you're thinking about a woman who is going to lead a future generation or who is going to influence a future generation, definitely these are the things that we should keep in mind as acquiring skills. It's nothing but, it's just not knowledge. It's a combination of knowledge, that is intellectual intelligence, emotional intelligence, as we have discussed about this before, IQ, intellectual intelligence, EQ, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, where she can work with people, she should acquire those skills as well. Social intelligence, adversity intelligence, like whatever that we take is not going to be successful. So we should have the resilience to put up with that and prepare ourselves for the worst, and such that we acquire more skills with the quality of resilience, with the habit of resilience, such that she is able to take it forward to the society with the social intelligence. So this, on the whole, this kind of holistic intelligence is what a woman should definitely acquire. To just narrow it down or funnel it down, to mention few things, basically it starts from creative and critical thinking to solve complex challenges. So they should have this acquisition along with the knowledge, map it with the knowledge, emotional intelligence to build meaningful relationships that can lead with empathy, with whom they are working with, putting themselves in other shoes. Of course, in a challenging world, if I'm not going to mention about the future skills of 4.0 and 5.0, people will laugh at me. So digital and AI literacy to confidently embrace the emerging technologies such that you will be able to challenge them, not fear about them. And last but not the least, the financial literacy, which is going to bring change, more and more change, to make informed economic decisions and achieve financial independence, which is the most required aspect of it. With all these things, definitely comes the communication skills, basically, with the collaboration to influence whatever thought I have, whatever I have acquired. Do I bring the influence in people? Are they able to listen to me? Do they accept me? So do I have that capacity of communication with people to influence across cultures, cross borders, whichever country they belong to, whichever thing that they are following? With the adaptability and lifelong learning, because when I'm going to open my horizons to cross border, I should be able to take it from others. So I should be open to them. So do I have the openness to accept reviews? Exactly, to remain relevant in the constant evolving world, such that we ensure that education is creating lifelong opportunities for all. So these skills, above all, character is the key thing for anybody to remain steadfast in the world. So your integrity and your character should be the most valuable credential that anyone can vouch for from any corner of the world. So if women is going to acquire all these skills, definitely she will be impacted.
So we're really talking about soft skills again, right? The skills that only belong to humans. And although we're in a changing world that changes every single day, we know that new technology is brought forward and old technology becomes obsolete. Soft skills will never come obsolete. What makes us different, what makes us critical thinkers, what makes us empathetic, what makes us compassionate, what makes us lead is what makes us human. And I think that's really important to reiterate, because usually we hear teachers and parents telling our kids to take that AI course, take this new program. And we're so focused on our kids becoming technologically advanced and being the next gen star that we forget that the next gen star needs to be a good human, needs to be a good person, and needs to really own their soft skills. So thank you for reiterating what I think is super important at this moment. How can we encourage girls to become confident leaders rather than simply good students?
Yeah.
That's a really important question.
Yes.
We put so much pressure on our girls to become good students, but then we have an issue with them if they become career women and they do not choose a traditional role. So why do we pressure our girls so much to be good students instead of being good leaders?
Yeah. Since I'm from India, I can relate it very well. In a family situation, always a girl child is looked down when there is a boy in the family. So definitely it is a very important question to be discussed when it comes. I'm sure like in other countries as well, this is what has been happening. There's a very question which is very close to my heart actually, when it comes to the thinking about education systems which has rewarded the compliance factor of it more than leadership. Because we often teach girls to achieve high grades. But as you rightly said, we don't always teach them the soft skills or the skills that they need to acquire to face life as it is, how to ask difficult questions, and make bold, informed decisions. When they do so, they should be open to take calculated risks and recover from the failure. So that's what is important, that we should really teach our girl children, so that this rate of girls committing suicide or talking about giving up life, all these rates would definitely come. So being given to understand this stand, they will understand that leadership is not just developed through perfection, but it is developed through life experience. And they will not think that education is the only way to prepare themselves for life, but they will think life as it is, and they say this education, what I undergo in this life is my kind of education, I'm going to make a life out of it. Exactly from what they have, they will just make a life out of it. So there will be a shift. There will be a paradigm shift in the thought process in preparing girls for examination rather than preparing them for life itself. So what do I really mean, or to give it as a takeaway or a summary of this, is that it means to create opportunities for them from their own life experiences and lead them as projects, participate in all the decision-making roles, taking responsibility of their own life and whatever they come across, solve the problems that they come across with the adversity quotient, speak with confidence, with much clear articulation in conveying their thoughts, put forth in action so that you become a thought process thinker, you innovate, and thereby you contribute to the innovation, volunteer, and also lead and mentor others. So that's how the whole transformation really happens as a journey from a girl to a woman. So education is not going to be the preparation for life, but it is life itself. They should be able to take the life opportunities from their own real experiences such that they become the catalyst for one in the society.
Yeah, I agree 100%, and I have 2 daughters. And like I said before, many times we want them to be good in school. So, because women are supposed to be perfect, but then we don't really see them many times as leaders, or we ask them, take it easy, relax, don't be so loud, don't be so rambunctious, don't be so, ideal. But the truth is that we need to encourage all this in our girls. Science, when the Indian lunar landing happened, I was so proud.
Yeah.
That there were 39 women engineers.
Yes.
I mean, that was such a win for all of us.
Yes.
That India decided to talk about that and let people know what women were doing, because I think women have participated always, but we never had the credit. We never had the recognition. And the fact that India was so forward in this thinking, so behind in time, we should have done this a long time ago. Nonetheless, I really was so excited. And so as someone that's involved in science, innovation, and education like yourself, what opportunities do you see for women in the future economy?
Yeah, that's a very good question. But if you allow me to have a very small change in that. Instead of future economy, I would say that as evolving economy. Because
yes.
Yeah. So I believe that this future economy or the evolving economy presents a very greatest opportunity for women, especially as you rightly gave a beautiful instance, very good instance for the women ever had, and the importance or the significance that the society is giving women to celebrate their successes, not because of the opportunities that will be handed over to them, but because of the nature of the leadership that itself is changing, that itself is emerging, that itself is evolving, actually, as you rightly said. I'm taking your example because I'm so inspired by it, definitely. So the future is not going to be driven solely by the physical resources that are being there, but by sharing knowledge, by the knowledge, innovation, creativity, and all the intelligence that we spoke about for a purposeful thought and a focus. So these areas that the women have always demonstrated to their remarkable strengths through whichever country that we are talking about, definitely we will have ample instances of women who have demonstrated these habits in them, characteristics in them. So as we are now entering an era where industries such as artificial intelligence is taking up the lead, sustainability.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Sustainability has become the real walk of life. It's the actual walk of life. Talking about renewable energy, when we talk about science, we can't really compromise on the thought of the 1.5 degrees centigrade of 2030. So renewable energy, which is there in that. Healthcare. Health is, well, definitely one health quadrupedite with one health, one planet notion. Innovation, biotechnology, name it anything, education technology, circular economics, social entrepreneurship will definitely shape global development. So in all these C-suites representations, we should have a proper quota for women as women empowerment, as we talk about Empower Alliance that we talk about. So through Mahila Udyami, we have demonstrated this right from the small startup where women are striving to have their household met with on a day-to-day basis, to the C-suite and empowered, most established women like you and others as well. So the opportunity is so vast, and women have this extraordinary opportunities of all the disciplines which I mentioned now to lead each one of these sectors, not as just participants, definitely not just as contributors, but as architects of change. They will architect the change that they want to bring in the society. So if we just sculpt ourselves with that kind of a leadership, that's what the evolving economy requires. And the future belongs to those who can combine this intelligence with empathy, technology, with humanity, innovation and responsibility. And we can say that women are uniquely positioned themselves to lead for such a transformation.
I'm so happy you say this. This was my next question. I don't have to ask it because I know how you feel about it. But definitely here in Mahila Udyami, we know that women, like you say, are just not participating in. Women need to be shaping and building the future of AI, technology, innovation, sustainability, education. We have seen studies that reflect that when women are in boardrooms or when women are in the heads of assemblies or in leadership, 35% of the goals of the year are actually met compared to those that do not have women involved. So if we know that it is good business, why are we still lagging behind? Because we are. So do you think that it's a lack of asking for it? Or is it a lack of being proactive? Or is it a lack of being assertive? Or is it what we all think? The world is not ready for this change, but we need to make it happen. What do you think is our step in order to get involved and really participate, not as just a mere participant, but as the builder or shaper of these areas?
Right. As we just going by with the previous mention that you did, technology is not there to just replace human. It is just as to enhance the human advantage. Just that.
Yeah.
And with the most beautiful qualities of women. When a woman knows very clearly what she is up to, where she is there to contribute, when she knows very well exactly how am I going to contribute, she will be able to achieve it. But definitely to share, to nurture, to mentor, whichever role that she takes, she will be able to do it by creating opportunities for others, as we have done it in Mahila Udyami, by understanding the struggles of people who are involved in it, who often lived in with that, come out of it and show others, let's not do this, let's do it this way, so that it makes it easier for them, and that's make the change happen gradually without jeopardizing the whole situation.
So that brings me to my next question. We often say that when one woman rises, she brings others with her, right? Why do you think that happens? And why is it important for her to look back and bring up the rest that are coming with her?
I learned it from you, Dr. Virginia. Empowered women, empower women, right? So, when a woman rises, what made you bring this platform? You tell me. So, when a woman rises, she rarely rises alone. Her instinct is not to just succeed, but to share. Share her possibilities, share her opportunities with others, to nurture them, to mentor, and to create opportunities for all, as I told you. So throughout my journey, I have seen, definitely, you as one example, me as we work with so many women, and every single one of them has done this. We celebrate each other's successes, encouraging each other during difficult times, definitely challenging times, quietly open doors for others to follow, such that they are not struggled to enter. And that is why this is called as ripple effect of leadership. A confident woman inspires confidence. A successful entrepreneur creates employment for others. As women, an educated mother, as we have seen, as we have talked about, shapes the next generation. A compassionate leader develops future leaders, not followers. They develop future leaders. So leadership is definitely not standing above others. It's about lifting others as you also climb. So the true success is measured not by how far I have traveled. It's by how many people have traveled further, because our paths are crossed. So some followers might have traveled ahead of me, but it doesn't matter. As long as I see them going ahead with a flagship, I'm so happy about it.
I love it. Now let's think about, and this is a very important question, and I want it from your perspective as a community person, as someone who belongs to different communities. How can communities better support women who want to create change? So now we know how women should act, or what women should do, or how women should prepare, but now it's like communities, how can they better support the woman that wants to create change?
Those who want to create a change. As we all know, the first slogan of change is that any change that you want to see in the society, be the change that you wish to see in the society. And communities must move beyond celebrating women achievements to actively enabling their success. It's not that I'm going to just clap hands and just applaud you for your laurels, but I should really see that your change that you want to do in the society, I should contribute to that by joining hands with you, collaborating with you, and taking it forward with you, with your vision, with your eye, but with a creative mindset of mine. So supporting women means creating environments for them where they are trusted. The basic on the platform of love, respect, and trust. If this breaks, there is no meaning of life. So, if you're really supporting women leadership, if you are really supporting women leaders, but create an environment such that where they are trusted, encouraged, and given equal opportunities and access to everything that they do, whether it is education, leadership, finance, technology, mentorship, anything that they do, support them with the policies that they promote inclusion. As we all know, as we talk about women empowerment, with the gender disparity, promote inclusion with the quota in the workplaces that value this diversity that is being existing in the education systems by nurturing leadership and communities to see that women are not only as contributors but the partners of change in shaping the future. So it's very equally important to have the role of mentorship, that every woman who has crossed this bridge should really think about, reach back to the first step where I started. So I come across this journey, I come across this trail on every single day. I look back and see that whoever stuck there, I'm going to lift him up. And that's how the sustainable leadership is also built.
Thank you so much. And I do agree 100% in all of that. And the truth is that the system that we're living in right now was not meant for us, right? We're still living in a system that supports a 1950s, 1940s household environment. So the world that we're living in today requires new systems.
Yes.
To really support the life that we want and that we need for women to thrive. Recognizing that women are still the caretakers. Recognizing that women still do the majority of the domestic work. Recognizing that the majority of the work that a woman does is usually not paid. It's unpaid. So we need, as a community, as a society, to create a system that will support the world where she can also live to her fullest potential, where she can also dream and aspire to make those dreams come true without her being a bad mother, a selfish daughter, a bad employee because she doesn't make it on time. You know, there's so many things that we need to take into account. But communities that really want to see women thrive need to think systems-wide. What ecosystem are we creating so she can be successful?
Yes.
You know, and we're going to put that in the parking lot, because I will have another session and I'll invite you again so we can talk about these ecosystems that need to be put in place so women can support it and they can actually activate the economy. Because you see, when women are supported, as in any other marginalized group, when we support them, they activate what's good in the world that we live in. And usually it all boils down to economy, right? So if you really want a strong economy, you need to support everyone that lives as a citizen in your nation. And that means supporting with ecosystems that are created for that. So we're definitely going to come back to that in the next session. But I wanted to ask you now on a personal level, what has been the greatest lesson you have learned as you lead As you are a leader of people, not just women, of everyone, what is the greatest lesson you have learned?
Yeah. The greatest lesson is that leadership is not about being the most powerful person in the room. It's about empowering others to discover their own power. Because early in my career, I believed that leadership was about having the right answers, being the ideal person, being Miss Perfect or Mrs. Perfect. Over time, I realized that true leadership is about asking the right questions, listening to others with empathy, giving them an opportunity or creating an opportunity for the change for others to grow and you grow with it. And being a woman, I always learned that resilience and compassion are not about opposing qualities. They are actually complementary strengths which complement each other. You can lead a team with courage without losing your kindness. You can make difficult decisions while remaining as deeply human as you can. And as we know that exactly, love is something which has to be shared by each one of them. With your kindness, definitely you can restore hope. And with your courage, you can inspire confidence in people. With your leadership, you can transform institutions. And with your education, you can shape generations. With your compassion, you can build strong communities.
Lovely. I love it. What advice would you give to a woman that has a dream but is afraid to take the first step? We know those. We've met them. They tell us, I've always wanted to. I've always had a dream to, but they don't do it. What would your advice be for that woman? What would be her first step?
This is so dear to me because I was one like this before. I was so very scared to take that first step, Dr. Virginia. I'm the good example for this. So my advice is very simple. Don't wait until you feel that you are ready. Start walking. As the child starts toddling, just get up, fall again, fall 7 times, get up 8. So, but very few people ever do that. Because fear is natural. And every meaningful journey begins with only uncertainty. Not that every single first step has never been right for anybody. So definitely there is a fear of failure. So difference between those who achieve those dreams in the absence of fear and the decision to move forward from it. As I mentioned now, fall 7 times, you stand up 8. It's not that how many times you fall. It's how many times you get up. That's what really counts. So this is what is very important. So throughout my journey, as I mentioned, there were moments when the path ahead was totally unclear. But don't stop. Don't give up. I learned that the confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence grows because of that action, actually. So, start where you are. Every single moment is a good moment to celebrate and to move forward. So don't wait for the right time, for the right moment to start anything. Use whatever you have. Whatever you have, use it, learn continuously such that you get evolved. Be willingness to evolve, change, and to fail, and to get up, and keep moving. And when you move forward, make it a point to take others with you, so they also move with you, and so that you don't walk alone. Others are also working with you, so that it's very important. So dream with courage, learn with humility, lead with integrity, serve with compassion. So this is what I really want to do.
That's beautiful. It just reminded me when I was in my early 30s, I was hired to be a sales coach for a multinational company in English and in Spanish, right? Because I speak Spanish and I was living in the United States. And I remember I started training this group of 75 salespeople. And as the trainings went on, they were happy, but I didn't really see a big spike in the sales. And then one day, somebody came to me and said, I'm just tired because they're saying no. And I started to think, well, that is the first step. Like you said, failure is the first step. We need to be brave enough to fail in order for us to succeed. So I remember having a competition of how many people could get a no. Go in, knock on the door, and let me know when they say no. And it turns out that moved the needle. They lost their fear of the customer, the client saying no, and we started getting so many more yeses. So it taught me early on that go after what you think is the worst case scenario, because you will be happily surprised that the majority of the fear isn't here. It's here. It's in your head. It's not really going to happen. So we really need to be brave. And this is my next question to you, and I'm going to answer it myself. But the next question is, if you could change one thing for women globally, what would it be? And if it's something that doesn't cost money, and it's something that we can actually just incorporate in what we're already doing, I would have a bravery class. Because I don't think we know what it means to be brave, but it's innate. It's something that's inside of you. It's something that is natural. It's something that is there. But many times we stop it. We don't, but it's there. You are brave. You are so, so, so brave. And I don't think we really encourage people enough to be brave, especially women. If we all were brave, just like your purpose-driven courage, if we were all brave, this world would be completely different. If we were brave to do the things that we think about, the things that we feel, being honest with the things that we want to do, but most importantly, being brave enough to fail. Because many times that is what keeps us from achieving our fullest potential. So I would like to ask you, especially because you've created these incredible programs and actually ecosystems. You are a builder for sure, and everything that I've seen about you. What would it be that you could change for women globally?
Every girl, every woman should be ensured, regardless of wherever she is born, regardless of that, given equal access to quality education and equal opportunity to lead.
Yes.
The two things.
Yes.
Quality education.
Change the world. That would change the world.
Yes. So
I agree. At Mahila Udyami, we often say women are not beneficiaries of development, women are infrastructure. What does that statement mean to you?
If I leave today everyone with one thought, it is this. Never underestimate the power of women with a purpose. Never underestimate the power of one woman who is with a purpose. She is there to bring the change, and she knows exactly what she is doing and what she wants to do. So she will do it because she is destined for it. So history has never been changed by crowds alone. It has been changed by individuals who have really catalyzed these changes, these kind of changes on and off.
Yes.
So that's what is the thing. And the ripple is always with that one act of courage. Somewhere someone did something, and that really has created the whole change. Maybe the bang theory as well. We can take the example of the bang theory which has happened, which has brought this humanity, which has brought this universe. So, the life with a purpose. Don't take it so light, and they are meant for change, and they will bring the change. It is always to grow with them and be a part of the change that together we vision together.
Yeah, for sure. Access to quality education is probably in sound. We are all emotional, and there's so many skills that we would want our girls to have and to hone and get better. But definitely, we know that the one key to upward mobility, to move people from poverty into a productive, dignified life for themselves, is access to quality education. I'm so happy that you say that. And Mahila Udyami, we believe that a quality education is not only a university degree. That would be wonderful, if that's what you want. But it's actually access to the education that you need in order to carry out whatever it is that you think you need to get done. Have the resources, the access, the tools. So definitely thank you for bringing that, because it's after our own our heart here in IIU, in Mahila Udyami, in James International School. Every time that I visit India, and I do that 4 or 5 times a year, my heart grows because I see our girls growing as colleagues. It takes a different type of education to really, one that's open and free, so that our young boys can see our young girls as colleagues, as future collaborators, as allies. And that is what I want for our school, the James International School, is that when they grow up and they're in the science fair, we have girls and boys working together to achieve, anything they want. And this is how we're going to definitely change this world. Thank you so much. So as we come to the end of today's conversation, it was a beautiful conversation, I want to take a moment to thank each one of you for joining us today. I've had some really great text and chat messages for people that are watching us. Please write it, comment on the show, send it to me, but also comment on the show. To our distinguished guest, Ambassador Her Excellency Dr. Srividhya Sukumar, thank you for sharing your wisdom, your experience, and your vision. When I first started in that huge group, somebody told me, Dr. Srividhya is very smart. I didn't really know you, and I just said yes to one of your conferences, and we're talking 3 years ago. Time flies. And when I made a comment and I said, I was with Dr. Srividhya today, and she has this, COP, and they were like, she is so smart. She is the right person to put the energy in. And, I didn't need that person to vouch for you, but I am very happy that they did, because they knew you more than I knew you. And it has really become a beautiful relationship. We've never met in person, but I admire you. I'm a huge fan of Mrs. Sukumar and Dr. Sukumar. And I have to say that your insights today remind us that education is not merely a transfer of knowledge. It is a creation of possibility. Yes. And this is what we talk about. It is the bridge between where people are and where they have the potential to be. And I know that you do this every day. What you bring to IIU is exactly this every single day. Today we spoke about opportunity, about leadership, transformation. We spoke about the importance of creating the pathways that allow people, women, to thrive. What resonates the most in the ripple effect is that a single opportunity can change a life. A changed life can strengthen a family.
100%.
A stronger family can transform an entire community. And transformed communities can change nations. So as many times we think that it's government. And government is a part, policy is a part. But the majority of it is us as community coming together. Too often, I think we underestimate the impact of our actions because we only see the first ripple. We do not always see the lives that we touch, the doors that are open, or the futures that change just because you chose to do the brave thing, the courageous thing. At Mahila Udyami Foundation, this belief is at the heart of everything we do. It started with a belief. It started with a man saying yes.
Yes.
Our co-founder is Advocate Piyush Pandit,
yeah.
And he believed, and if there's somebody that is a traditionalist in many things, is Advocate Piyush Pandit. But I have to say, and maybe it's because he has 3 sisters, maybe because he has a strong wife, and he had a wonderful mother.
He has to regard for his mother, and that's all.
Absolutely,
all these things as you know.
Yes, he was raised this way, and I'm blessed to have him as a partner in business. But I think we all have this great opportunity to connect, thanks to the platforms and the bridges that he creates. And this is a man, working as an ally for women. So I do believe that there's a better world for us.
Yes.
And I do believe that there are examples of how things should work, because I live it every day. I see what can be done. When we create access, we create opportunity. When we create opportunity, we create dignity. And when dignity is restored, and this is so important, when dignity is restored, transformation becomes possible. People believe in their skills, they believe in their talents, and their innate abilities. But they need to feel secure and safe that what they say will not come back to hurt them. That if they're brave, we will accept it. And then we'll pursue it. So what ripple will you create? That was my question for all of you today. What ripple will you create? What conversation will you start? What person will you mentor? What opportunity will you create now? What barrier will you help remove? Because lasting change is not created by having an interview program. It's not created by Advocate Piyush alone or myself or Dr. Srividhya. It is created when us as ordinary people decide to become intentional. And when we decide to become intentional, extraordinary things happen. So thank you to our Mahila family. Thank you to our IU family. Thank you to every single person. Thank you to our beautiful, strong, fierce, and bold guest, Dr. Srividhya Sukumar. And thank you, all of you, for believing that there's a better future. And it is possible if we build it together. Until next time, keep learning, keep leading, keep lifting others, and keep creating ripples of hope wherever you go. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Srividhya.
Thank you, Dr. Vidya. Thanks for the greatest opportunity where I was able to share little knowledge of mine. And definitely on this platform where everything is accepted and taught, put as empathy as a shoe so that you are able to think from my perspective and then align it with the perspective and the rational what is being met with that. So definitely, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks to Dr. Piyush Pandit and the whole team of IIU for such a wonderful platform. And definitely we should collaborate and we should really take this one forward. Far and beyond.
Remember,
thank you so
freedom,
much.
freedom, and prosperity. That's what we all deserve. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.